Joe Biden, this is unheard of in modern presidential politics. Joe Biden has effectively sworn that he won't campaign anymore for the last 2 weeks of this race. That's very strange. He thinks he's in a good position. He thinks the polls are behind him. So he's just going to stay at home so he doesn't give himself the opportunity to screw up any more than he already has. Nobody is trying to get him to show up out of the mainstream media, out of the Democratic establishment. The only guy who is trolling Biden into getting back onto the campaign trail is the master troll in chief, President Trump, who says that Joe Biden has basically given up on life.
No, he has. He's waved a white flag on life. He doesn't leave his basement.
Joe Biden's been accusing Trump of waving the white flag of coronavirus, surrendering on coronavirus. He said, no, I'm not doing that. Joe Biden's waving a white flag. He's waving a white flag on life because he knows that if he goes out and he talks and he says hello to anybody, he's going to screw up, so he's hiding in his basement. Right after Trump says this, what happens? Joe Biden decides to come out of hiding. I'm not sure that this corruption stuff, it really matters, but Biden is hiding anyway because he doesn't want to have to answer questions on Hunter. He doesn't want to have to answer questions on any of these other people. So Joe Biden shows up and he's at a campaign event. They've got a band there and he's going to go give a speech. You've seen the Trump rallies. You've seen, 20,000 people there, 30,000 people there sometimes. And then you see the Biden rally. Joe Biden shows up, the band is playing. There were probably 18 people in the room. So he walks down the stairs. They're playing Midnight Train to Georgia, which is kind of a depressing song to be playing during a campaign, right? Because it's all about a guy who failed. LA was too much for the man, and so he's living the life he's come to know. Biden's got his little circles there. I don't even know if it's 18 people. It's not. It's not even 18. It's probably a dozen people. Okay, a little bit more on the side. So, okay, 18 people. You got probably more staff there than guests. And he's old, so it's taking him forever to walk to the stage. He's trying to run a little bit, but that's awkward. Handful of claps. He's leaving. He is leaving on that midnight train. I know that the polls say that Biden is way up. Maybe Biden is way up. Maybe Biden's going to win. Maybe it's going to be a blowout for Joe Biden. But you got to admit it's kind of weird that Trump gets tens of thousands of people to show up to his rallies and Joe Biden can't get 20 people to show up to his rallies. You got to admit that is kind of weird. I've never seen enthusiasm so skewed in a race where the polls are so tight. What does that mean? Does that mean the polls are wrong? Does that mean that libs are so afraid that they're just staying in their homes because they're afraid of the flu? What is it? What does that really mean? So Biden can't muster any of these people to actually show up. I think this matters much more than the corruption. I think we got to focus on how there's no enthusiasm, why there's no enthusiasm, what his plans will mean for the country, for the economy, what his plans will mean socially, what his plans will mean for the structure of our government, court packing, and what his cognitive issues mean for the presidency. Joe Biden was asked, one of these events, he was asked about Amy Barrett. And this should be a slam dunk. This is one of the top issues on the entire campaign. The Supreme Court and this confirmation that just happened a couple of days ago. Joe Biden, he couldn't seem to string the thoughts together.
Here's the deal. One of the things that is important is that keep in mind, although they're going to vote on Barrett, I think today.
That line, please. We're going to place that, guys.
That it's really important.
That is so embarrassing. It's embarrassing for Joe. It's embarrassing for the campaign. Senator, tell us about Amy Barrett. Okay, well, here's the deal. The thing about it is they're going to vote today, or was it yesterday, or they're going to, and I don't even want to make fun of him for it. Anybody who's had aged friends or relatives knows this happens. You know, it's a senior moment, except with Joe, he has senior moments all of the time. Don't begrudge him that. It's going to happen to all of us probably someday if we live that long. But it doesn't mean that you should be president while you're having those issues. If you cannot give an opinion on the Supreme Court confirmation that just happened, you should not be president. You don't have the stamina to do it. And his campaign staff knows it. We've been seeing this for months and months, and the mainstream media are denying it, where Joe will start trying to talk to the press and he'll start rambling, and they will take him by the arm and lead him away. Like, come here, old grandpa. So come here, old Joe. Let's go. We're gonna. Again, if Joe were just their grandpa, perfectly fine, a lovely interaction. But he's not. He's trying to be president. Barrett, today it's sort of okay, bye, and just leads them away. And the press won't ask a question about it because the press are campaign operatives for Biden. Now, some of the Biden gaffes have been a little bit funnier. Maybe they're Freudian slips. I don't know. Just yesterday, Joe Biden was talking about his wife and then Kamala Harris and Kamala's wife.
But my wife, Jill, as you know, and Doug Emhoff, Kamala's wife are there. Kamala will be back later this week, I think on Friday.
That may have been a Freudian slip, which is obviously where you say one thing but mean your mother. So Joe talks about Kamala's wife. He meant to say her husband, I guess. Those issues, I know it's counterintuitive, but I think those issues are going to matter much more. I hope you enjoyed that short segment from the Michael Knowles Show. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.